John, wouldn't it be a dream? You have a brand new Ford truck. Did you know it's Ford Truck Month at Two Rivers Ford?
It is.
You don't owe a payment for 5 years. 0% APR. You're not going to
5 years or 5 months?
5 years. 0% APR for 60 months, John. 60 months equates how many years?
5 years.
That's 5 years. Now, for 90 days, you're not going to make a payment. And that is a great ride when you have a brand new truck sitting in your driveway. Two Rivers Ford, whether it's the F-150 or the F-250, those are the meet and greet go-tos. As we talked about our ice storm last week, and in my neighborhood, it's nothing but the Ford F-250 dualies hauling the trees out right now.
Yeah, our Mustangs did not make it out of the driveway.
It stayed in the driveway. Where
you idiot!
It should be. But it's Truck Month, and the hottest selling truck in America for the past 40-plus years, John, it is a Ford.
And it's at Two Rivers Ford. It's just 7 miles east on I-40 of the airport. It's Two Rivers Ford, South's most trusted Ford dealer.
Oh, the reach around.
It's the second cup of Joe and John with Joe Elvis and John Dwyer.
Joe!
John.
I'm like Def Leppard's drummer.
Look at I know you don't like talking about yourself more than usual, but you look a little different. You're back in the sling. They freshened your shoulder up. How you feeling?
I'm good. Rotator cuff surgery 4 months ago. Had to go back in yesterday. I know this is evergreen, but anyway. They had to clean it up. It was something about cleaning out debris, and I just can't move my wing up. So I think people that have done this that can relate. Some of them may have gone in and cleaned it up, but the rehab was not. I thought it was good rehabber.
Did you hurt it in the USC game or the Ohio State game years ago?
It's when we were actually we beat the Florida Gators in the '92 Sugar Bowl. I handed off to Jerome Bettis,
and then you went.
and he scored. And that was the one where a waiter asked Lou Holtz during dinner before the game, "Do you know what's the difference between Cheerios and Notre Dame?" And the waiter said, "Cheerios belongs in a bowl," and Notre
Nashville.
Dame beat him. But it's not like I remember that like yesterday.
If you see this on YouTube, look at it. If you're listening, John's in a sling. We wish you a great recovery. You work hard. You're up every day at 4 a.m. in the gym, so I know you're going to recover from this well.
It's going to be fine. One quick thing I want to get to. You're traveling, and you do Southwest a lot. So do I. My wife just flew Southwest. There's a new seating thing, right? Have you done that yet?
No.
So you're assigned seats, and what I'm getting to, my wife was near the front, and people in the back are now putting their luggage in up front.
Right.
Wrong.
Right.
You got that seat in the back.
There.
Because I don't want you're taking space up from somebody else. My new pet peeve.
Here we go.
Is just be a human being and take it back to the back so that I know you don't want to walk 20 feet, but it's your fault. You got the back row. So just do that. So I just warn you on that. That's going to be my kind of set me. There'll probably be a video of that, of me going off, and I'll get kicked off. The marshals will come on. And
the people that are paying a little extra like to sit up front. My pet peeve with Southwest is they changed it at all. And as our family, Kim and I have been in aviation for years. We go to the back. We instantly go to the back.
Because the bathroom's back there.
Because Southwest passengers are like Baptists. They all want to come in and sit right in the front. And so you just go to the back. You can have a whole row. You got your whole luggage space.
You're not going anywhere anyway. If you check luggage, you're not going anywhere.
No, when you flip upside down and you're on fire, the people in the front are not getting out any quicker than you are.
Yeah. So you know what? This is going to be a good segue to our
because he came with his own book, John. That's a really good.
Which means he travels a lot. He's a world traveler. Let's get to our guest.
Hey, we know people. Let's take a spin through Joe and John's Rolodex.
And it ends on F. David Fischette. He's an entrepreneur, creative leader, author of this. Hello, fine friend. There it is. We'll talk about that. 40 years of experience shaping storytelling and brand connection. Founding creative agencies, Created, it's called, producing award-winning film, television. Are you going anywhere? Am I going too long on this one?
Oh, you already did.
No, I got his mic up. Okay.
I was just making sure.
I can't do this. Run this with two hands. I certainly can't do it with one,
That's
as you
what
know
she
that.
said.
Anyway,
Doing
he
great,
blends
John.
creativity, purpose, and entrepreneurship. It is David Fischette on the Second Cup of Joe and John.
Oh,
Welcome,
we're exhausted.
welcome, brother.
We're exhausted.
Thank you so much. Wow, thank you for that very long.
Please save us here.
Well,
David.
somebody wrote it for you. I didn't make this up.
Wow.
So what do you do traveling? What would you do?
Yeah, no, I thank you for bringing up the Southwest thing because it killed me. So last Saturday, my wife and I were coming back from a cruise in Mexico. It was our first time flying Southwest with the new deal, and I had Group 2, right? And I was up front. Group 2.
Okay,
great. Group 2. There had to be 170 people that got on before Group 2 was called. It was like that scene in Meet the Parents with Ben Stiller, where everybody got on. I'm like, wait, I'm up front. What's happening?
What?
And the same
Two?
thing.
That's just one more than one,
right? And it's like, and all the bin space is gone because all the people are just dropping their stuff up on the way back. I hate it.
So I haven't done it yet. So do you have an actual assigned seat when you get on that plane? Okay.
Yeah.
And I always wish with the airlines they would load from the back first and then up, because then they get because that makes more sense.
Well, this airport, I was flying out of Long Beach, and Long Beach has a direct Long Beach to Nashville.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah,
Taking it next month, matter.
Yeah, and so they board from both sides. They board from the front and the back of the plane, right?
Right.
And so they're like, anybody 16 and greater go in the back, but people still just shoved up front.
We decided that there was probably, the focus groups or studies of how best to load, and you would think common sense was in the back and then but there must be some metric. You know what? Enough of this. We aren't happy with it. Good luck tomorrow. You don't even have a assigned seat yet. You're serving drinks for all I know.
I'm flying.
You're flying the plane.
I'm flying on Allegiant Airlines tomorrow.
Ooh, wow!
So bless me, Lord.
You said that out loud.
We land at the correct airport, and it's the airline my wife works for. Right. So
wow.
Hopefully we'll be set up with drinks at
amazing.
6 a.m. Like you
will. Knowing
you're wearing shoes, we're gonna have to charge you for that.
That's right.
Yeah, we charge you less if you wear flip flops and pajamas.
Anyway. Okay,
good times.
We did it. Well, welcome.
Thanks.
Talk about traveling. We're going to talk about this beautiful book, Hello, Fine Friend. You'll see that beautiful picture on YouTube right now, and I don't know why, but. You walked 1,000 miles. You do like to travel, and there's a lot of great stories in there. And let's just start with that, walking 1,000 miles. So is this a track that you started somewhere and launched 1,000 miles, or is this just over a period of time?
I just walked 500 miles and turned around and walked back. It was very
out and back.
Gump. No, I'm kidding.
7 hours later, you're back.
Yeah, actually, it was a total of 1,350 miles that I walked last year. But 1,000 miles is a nice round number to put in the title of a book, right? And so it started just as this health challenge. So I started about a year ago walking 10,000 steps a day, which is about 5 miles with the length of my legs. So so by the end of the year, it was about 1,350 miles, mostly around Franklin, Tennessee. But wherever I was in the world, I would do these walk and talks. It started with the social media walk and talk. So I have them from Florida, from Texas, from California, from England, all over the place, wherever I was. Yeah.
So you're walking, and for someone who hasn't seen it, you're walking and doing a little, here I am, here's my thoughts for the day. You so people are joining in your journey at any part of the day.
Yeah, exactly. So it started first with the health challenge, but then the woman that was handling my social media last year told me that, hey, Gary Vaynerchuk says, if you post a video of yourself every day for 30 days, your numbers will grow, your followers will grow exponentially, right? And so I was like, I got stuff to say, all right? And so at first it was this silly stuff about my day, but then it got into, I'm out here walking, I'm thinking about stuff, and started getting into deeper topics. And so that's what really started connecting with people.
I've noticed that. Why is that like an algorithm? Do it every day for 30 days and it will increase hits. I've seen several people on the old Instagram and stuff do that, and I'm like, why are you talking every day? So there's a little plan to it.
Yeah, there's plan. But they change the algorithms weekly, right? Once you figure it out, they want to create a new way so that you have to try to figure it out again.
Okay.
So these are a collection of stories. They all are independent, so you can pick it up anywhere. And I did, and it says in chapter 47, I thought this was interesting, interconnectivity. As you look back, you're asking, how would you tell your story if you only had 45 minutes? What would you say that shaped you most? Well, we're about a 45-minute podcast that fit perfectly. The how, you talk about inspiration or reflective. How would you best sum up, what did you have to get off your chest?
Yeah, what I had to get off my chest is, you mentioned that for 40 years I ran a large creative agency, which I still own, and I left there about 2 years ago, started a new boutique shop because I just wanted to focus on the work. But I realized that for so many years growing a business, especially in the creative industry, I always wanted to make sure people felt like I had it all together, right? That I was, everything was good, never lost my cool, nothing ever went wrong. And so you just kind of live with a mask on, right? And when I left there, turned 60 in 2024.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah. Thank you very much. I just don't care that much anymore about what people's perception is of me. And so, in this book, I was able to kind of start sharing, there was times I was a jerk to people. I didn't treat people well, or I made some mistakes. I hurt people that I loved that I didn't intend to hurt them, but the net result is the same. So the book is really, somebody was interviewing me yesterday and asked me, is this book inspirational and motivational? I'm like, there's some of that in there, but really I just want it to be reflective. I end each chapter with a question to the reader, right? And say, what do you think about this topic? How's it played out in your life? And I just want people to think about it, and hopefully I can be my mistakes can be a cautionary tale for people that are heading down the same path.
And David, talk more about, I like the title, Visionary in Live Production and Entertainment. And very nice. You blend creativity, purpose, and entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Which, it's an awesome sounding slug line. It reads great, but I truly believe that those are the three pillars of what it takes to be a success with your creativity, whether it's writing a book, music, making films, your purpose, what's your character? What are you about? And then your entrepreneurship, like doing those posts every day each one has its own file of hard work.
Yeah.
So where did you find your categories in that? Like what put you into music? So the live production and entertainment, or is this dealing with bands, making movies? What was that about?
It was really the majority of my career was in large corporate work, right? So and you would think of it. If you just looked at it from the outside, you go, oh, you do event production, right? You do corporate event production. And it was far much larger than that, because the tools that we would use, audio, video, lighting, staging, design, entertainment for a corporate conference or convention, those are all kind of tools. And to execute at flawless execution is kind of like the ante, that's table stakes to get in. What really is the stickiness that makes brands come back to you time and time again is the fact that we did a lot of work with the C-suite and helping them craft their message and the things. A lot of brands think they are something and they want to portray what they think they are to the consumers, and a lot of times consumers are like, that's not really who you are. So my job really was working with CEOs and kind of going, well, okay, I know you want to say this, but maybe if you say it this way, or maybe this doesn't ring true. And so I had a really unique ability to give them the perspective of the person sitting in the chair that they were talking to, and really building that trust with the C-suite and helping them communicate better and more effectively is really where the stickiness in the career came together, and that's how I was able to build a creative agency.
Common sense would tell you not to look to Joe and John for this, but time for life lessons from Joe and John.
So we're only about 8 minutes in. What's our brand? What's your observation?
I thought we'd end with that. I'm not sure we want.
What do you think our brand is, David?
It's going to be unvarnished. It's going to be transparent and all that. And
car sales.
I'm not sure we can handle that. But yeah, car sales. You need to go into car sales.
Running rash.
But you're not going to do well. You're gonna be a Midland kind of the way we did our opening thing with Two Rivers. But anyway.
No,
Yeah.
I think your brand is a casual conversation, which I really, really like, and especially the sweatshirts, right? So I tried to be on brand for you guys today.
You're going to get one.
Or a hoodie.
John designs our stuff, and that is his true calling. He should be working for the NFL, the NHL, or all of them.
To design
uniforms
the whole time.
That's
Never did
you
that.
Do.
Ship has sailed.
All right, go ahead.
But the life lesson, where are you from? I read all this. What's your backstory?
Sure. I was born in Rochester, New York. Yeah. So, but I moved to California just before I turned 5, and I lived there till I was 50.
Wow.
And then I've been in Nashville now for 11 and a half years.
What brought you here?
Oh, that's a fun story.
Don't tell me Southwest.
No, yeah. That's slowly painful.
When they had open seating.
Let's open up that painful memory. I was going through divorce from my first wife, and all 3 of my daughters were at Belmont University.
Oh.
And I thought, what do
Retail?
What do 20-year-old girls want more than anything when they're in college is to have their dad come to college with them. So I thought I would move to Nashville, and so I could be close to them.
That's terrific.
Right.
I think, my sons are 24, 25. I think it's great being around your kids. Yeah. And when you do it right, when it's kind of the right relationship, it's kind of normal. It's not really, it is, you are the dad, but it's also, you'll see them leaning on you for more things where 4 years prior you were a moron.
That is a whole wild chestnut. So I moved here to be close to them. Unfortunately, they are still here in town. I'm here in town, but I'm no longer in relationship with any of my daughters, and so I do talk about that a lot in the book. All 3 of them.
Wow, that's a big chapter.
It's a lot of chapters, but and it's even represented in the cover of the book. There's a little homage. There's a lot of hidden interesting things in all this artwork on the front.
I think there's a lot of parallels. Joe has had really 4 or 5 successful careers. He's got a book in him for sure. Went in broadcasting, I had to pivot. I think, I didn't get comfortable in my skin until I was about 40. And then 60 does something to you. I think it does. And we've talked about this. It's okay we love comebacks. We love people opening up and knowing that we're not perfect, and we are continuing trying to work. You will always be a parent. You will parent until you're done. But showing that and being that vulnerable, I think is really healthier the earlier you figure that out.
Absolutely. And I think, at this age, right, we're very comfortable in our skin because it is so soft and malleable at this point.
And bleeds easily.
So well worn.
Everyone our age has a Band-Aid on the back of their hand,
right?
As Nate Bargatze says.
How'd you do that? I have no idea.
But I do have, the interesting thing is, so my daughters, my twins are 32 now, and my youngest daughter's 30. But I also have a 4-year-old son. How you doing?
All right.
Hey, don't you know
let's run this back.
a little bit of a swing there.
We wouldn't even have to ask questions. He's just offering.
Yeah.
And how's that going?
You know what? It's not what was in my my life script, but it's amazing, And I've fought it really, really hard. When I met my current wife, when I met Christine, she was very upfront from the very beginning that this was part of the deal, right, with her, because she's a skosh younger than me, a tad.
30s.
Just turned 40.
Okay.
Yeah.
Welcome. So, she's now comfortable in her own.
John's wife turned 25.
Yeah. Anyway, so she was, but I'm just kind of going deep. I'm just going to give you all the story, right? So I really fought that. I fought it for the whole time we were dating, and then I was like, all right, I can maybe do one, and then we got engaged, and I'm like, I can't do it, and then I really felt like I went to Radnor after we broke off the engagement, the whole bit, and I went to Radnor Lake, and I really felt God say, but what if this is what I have for you? And I'm like, dang it. I never hear God. I never hear God talking to me.
No.
Dang it!
Let it go on that walk.
So we ended up getting married, and I still just didn't feel it, and I was fighting it the whole time, and then, miracle of miracles, she got pregnant, right? And so we named him Jonah, because if you're familiar with the story of Jonah in the Bible, God told Jonah.
That's his department.
Right. God told Jonah to go to Nineveh, right, and to tell the people to repent, right, and Jonah did not want to do that. And he took off the opposite direction, got swallowed by the whale, rethought it. And so in this story, I'm Jonah, my son is Nineveh, but we named him Jonah, and right before he was born, a buddy of mine was like, man, you don't saddle your son with that. And I went to my wife. I'm like, maybe we should change his name. She's like, no, God's going to get there's redemption in the story, and there is. I love this little kid so much, and I could not imagine my life without this little guy, and he brings me so much joy.
That's terrific.
Yeah,
and it's just the eyes of life in little kids.
Right.
There's nothing jaded about them.
Yeah.
Will you have another child?
No.
Are you sure?
It's shut. The factory is shut.
Well,
all the way down.
Maybe we should have all shut our factories. That would have stopped this a long time ago.
All the way down.
Stop down.
I'm like, he's born, he's healthy, good. Shut down. Here we go.
Rapid fire, rapid. Pew, 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 rapid fire.
Oh my gosh.
I just got one 6-pack.
You're gonna
got a
hurt
6-pack, a 6-gun, a 2-shooter, a pea shooter, BB gun, a Red Ranger.
Red Ranger
show. Was it Red Ranger?
The Red Rider.
Red Rider.
You're gonna shoot your eye out.
Shoot your eye out, kid.
Yeah,
Yep.
I did shoot. Her name was Lisa Oth, a neighbor across the street. I did shoot her. I didn't mean to. I did mean to, but I get grounded for that. That's another story. She's okay though. She has glasses. Well, she has one glass eye. But anyway, go ahead. Rapid fire, quick questions, quick answers.
Sure.
Never happens, David.
Nope.
So, David, we got your book. What's the last book you read?
Ooh.
Wow. It was Fighting Shadows, John Tyson.
About?
It's a Christian men's book about digging into all the stuff we deal with as men that we don't really want to admit. Right? It's a really, really good, authentic book.
That would be volume 1. What is a first or favorite car of yours? Did you have a first fave?
Oh my gosh! Just
or one that's
My first car was a 1972 brown Ford Maverick. Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah.
That is
one up from the Pinto.
2-door, 4-door.
Not far up from the Pinto.
Yeah. Yeah, that was something.
We did have a Pinto when I was a kid though. We did.
Yes. No fire. Yeah. We've I grew up, my father always had Ford LTDs.
Oh yeah.
The station wagon.
Yep.
John's family's a career Ford dealership people. So the Fords are in our life. Our Two Rivers Ford is truly a sincere appeal.
Yeah, your dad had to go ahead.
Spent many trips in the back of a Ford LTD station wagon going from Los Angeles to Las Vegas or wherever, just sitting in the back facing, looking out.
We called them land yachts. They were land
strapped
yachts.
in.
Not strapped in at all.
Ours, if you put the back seat down, my dad could pack the back, and then we could have a little bed made for the three of us. But all ping pong balls had we ever flipped. You know how that goes.
Exactly.
David, maybe how about 2 influential people in your life?
Well, if you look at chapter 37, no, I'm just kidding. There's 2 influential people, and they're both called out in my book. But a father figure, a guy by the name of Ray Cavallari, was a drama teacher. Mm-hmm. In my sophomore year of high school, I changed schools. I was do you have time? Oh, it's a short answer. So
we never.
Okay, great.
I love this question.
So it's a really fun story because
it's a really quick question.
Because Ray, he was at a school called Alamany High School. All of my siblings, I was the youngest of 4. We all went to St. Genevieve's High School, and I was there in my freshman year. In the middle of my sophomore year, I'm like, I really hate it here. Can I go to another school? Now, at St. Genevieve's, I could not get a part in a play. I could not even get put on stage crew in the theater department, but that was something I was really interested in. I transfer over to Alamany. I sign up for their theater class. After the first class, I go up to the teacher, Ray Cavallari. They had already cast for the Big Spring musical, and this is a school that had a really great theater department. My first high school had crappy theater department. I go up to him and say, is there anything I can do to help out? And he said, Fischette. Are you any relation to Bob Fischette? I'm like, yeah, he's my older brother. And unbeknownst to me, my brother was doing lighting design for him at that school after he graduated. He was in college and for his professional company. And he just said, if you're Bob Fischette's brother, you're my assistant director.
Wow. Way to know your brother, by the way.
Right? Yeah. Right. But I mean,
you guys were tight.
Just super tight. But in an instant, that put me on a path to becoming a producer and a director. And that I look at that moment as a pivotal moment in my life that
love that
as what responsible for what I'd get to do. And then second person would be my senior pastor in Los Angeles, a guy by the name of Larry DeWitt, who's been such an incredible father figure to me.
So you just help to enunciate and emphasize JAG, Tennessee, where we help young people have favorite teachers and go in and help them figure out what they want to do in life. And usually our JAG teacher is your guy that set you on their way. So thank you for the indirect plug there. The next rapid fire question is iconic photograph. When you think of a photograph, it could be a family one. It could be, listing down against Ali. What comes to mind?
That's an iconic photograph of for me or anything that I've seen in my life.
Something that resonates with you.
Gosh, and I don't know why this resonates, and I'm sorry, honey. But I
don't say first wife.
No, I know. I'm not going to say that. But I think when I think of iconic photograph, I think about the poster of Farrah Fawcett we all had.
Sure.
That's why I go to Jeff Ruby's in the restroom.
Right.
I always go. I have to go see Fawcett. Farrah Fawcett. Yeah. That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Google it, young people, if you haven't. It holds up well.
Yeah.
Final one for me, one we give everyone. What advice would you give your 18-year-old self now?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Yeah. Be real. Stop trying to impress people. I spent so much of my life trying to impress people, and it never really worked, right?
But you don't know. I mean, you got to learn that.
Yeah,
and there's no gauge that 18 the faucet's going to go on for that. It just doesn't.
Yeah, and I talk about this in the book. I mean, I'm a speaker. I speak at conferences and events, and for years I'd speak on creativity, and I'd be out there showing these pictures of these big events and all this beautiful stuff, thinking I'm going to impress you so much. I'm so amazing, and people are like, yeah, that's cool, great, yeah, and but in 2015 we almost went out of business. We had some funky stuff happen in the business office, and I thought we were going to go out of business. And I was speaking at an event, and I was like, yeah, last year was a rough year, and we almost filed bankruptcy. And I just shared all of that, and I had a line of people wanting to talk to me afterwards because that resonated. It was authentic. It wasn't like portraying something that was so lofty that they couldn't connect to it. It's like, oh, this is real stuff.
That's good.
Yeah. Ooh, it's time for an angel.
Yeah, a little magic dust. He talked about the 72 Maverick that he loved. There's a Maverick now. It's now a truck with Ford. Yeah. And it's just one of the most successful things you can find at Two Rivers Ford. They're great at, if you want to be part of the promotion, you can. This is awesome.
Sure.
No, please.
I'm just looking at the Mustang. The Mustang's an SUV now, which is hard
it's
for me to
electric. That's we don't talk about that.
I have to decide. That's where I have to draw the line, and Two Rivers doesn't want to hear my opinion about that.
But it's a great car.
It is, and I see more of them out
plug
there.
in the side of it, but
just call it something else.
Stallion, I thought would have been the name.
Stallion.
Exactly.
Anyway, no, but if you want commercial trucks, they have the widest selection from 2 trucks to 50. It doesn't matter how big your business is. Two Rivers Ford will get it done. They will give you the best price, and it's just a different vehicle buying experience. Try out Two Rivers Ford.
Amen. Mine was a 72 Ford Torino. I want them to bring back a model of the Torino.
Grand Torino.
TwoRiversFord.com. You can see everything. It is Truck Month. Stop by Two Rivers Ford, the South's most trusted Ford dealer.
Joe and John have come to the fork in the road.
You got top-notch guests that they can play along with the sponsor read. That's pro.
That's good stuff. Do you guys have a sponsor? I didn't notice.
Thank you.
So seamless.
Wow, that drips with sarcasm. That is this table's humid right now.
It is, and you're living in the other one, the Second Cup of Joe and John eSpace studio. We're located on hip and trendy Music Row. There's a second one up at the roundabout. If you're in Nashville, there's 5 locations, eSpace. And David,
eSpaces.
As you saw coming in, elaborate, huge offices, small conference rooms, a small office, whatever your business is. Like John could actually use it as CEO for Jobs for America's Graduates. Boom, you work out of here. The Wi-Fi's great. You got your own kitchen. I love our little eSpaces studio here.
I think it's fantastic. It's really the best part of the podcast. When our guests come in, they're like,
and then we open our mouths.
Yeah, and then they come in and they're like,
thought this was
really?
good.
Yeah, but anyway.
But even up in Franklin, you got an eSpace up in Franklin. I know you mentioned 5 in Nashville, but there is one in Franklin right there.
That's right.
Nice. See, again, working it in. The residual check is in the mail. Yeah. Do you if you one fork in the road clearly was what happened in high school meeting that teacher. Do you have another fork? And personally, you mentioned. I mean, we've gone through some forks, but we love that one door closes, the other opens. Do you have another one that you could share?
Oh, I've been forked a lot here.
Nashville.
So
poked and prodded.
Yeah. I think that the biggest fork in the road really was in 2023. At the end of 2023, I was very, very close to selling the company that I had started, and then for one reason or another, that deal did not go through, and I had to make a decision to still leave this company that I had created at 20 years old. I ran it as CEO.
It's called Created.
My new company is called.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah. But the company that I founded, that I'm still the primary owner of, I left January of 2024 as CEO and chief creative there, just because I wanted, like I mentioned, I was turning 60 and I wanted to do something different with my life. I wanted to focus more on the creative work and less on being the guy that had to run the operation. So that was a huge fork in the road, and because so much of my identity was, hey, he's the CEO and the founder of Go West, right? That was my life, and to suddenly like that be not that guy anymore and have nothing to do with the company anymore was a huge shift for me, and took me a good 6 months to get my head around that and to feel right. But it has been amazing. It's now just this is my new company created by David Fischette. Has been really wonderful, just working with my clients, working from home. So I spend more time. I was traveling 150 days a year, and when I was in town, I was leaving at 7 o'clock in the morning, coming home at 7 o'clock at night. And now being home and being able to see my wife, see my son, those type of things, that's been a huge fork, and I love it. I'll eat with that fork all day long, guys.
Eat it. That's fantastic. David's referring to Hello, Fine Friend. And I want to go back to that artwork on the front cover. It's very good. So I know there's stories behind it.
Yeah.
And it's a collection of unsolicited random thoughts inspired by walking 1,000 miles. There's a road that goes right through the center of it. We see even like a sort of a chalice at the top. And to me, it looks like you standing out on a limb on the left. Mm-hmm. So this is a time, this is you adjusting, saying, I need to, refocus. I need to get back on the road of life.
Sure.
That was my take from it, and discuss just the cover of the book. I know there's backstory to it, probably.
Yeah, there is, and dear friend Jeffrey Piddle, who actually did the artwork for me on this. Thanks, Jeff. I knew, I grew up Catholic. I'm not Catholic anymore, but the whole stained glass thing obviously had meaning to me because being in the Catholic Church, each one of these icons represents something in my life, right? So the top, it's not actually a chalice; it's a kintsugi bowl.
Okay.
Right, the Japanese kintsugi bowl, which is a porcelain bowl but when it breaks, they put it back together using gold to put it back together, so it's actually stronger at the places where it is broken. Right, so symbolically talking about the places in our life where we're broken, and we garner strength from that. The hourglass, talking about making time count. The book is a Christian-based book. We got number 1 on Amazon for personal transformation and spirituality. But I wanted to put a cross on there, but I didn't want the cross to be like this big thing at the center, right? So that's why my heart is represented there, but the shadow of my heart is the cross on the path. You see.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah. Then this ring that my wife gave me that I wear all the time. People know that it's me because of this ring. And down at the bottom, there's an old-fashioned quill and some letters. And as I mentioned, with my daughters not being in life with me, there was a period of time where I was challenged to write them a handwritten letter every day for 30 days. And I actually went 120 days writing them a handwritten letter every day and mailing each one of them. So 360 letters. So just kind of, it's part of my story, part of my journey. And the last thing is, that's me standing there, and you see my footprints behind me, but next to me you see footprints with nobody standing there, and that represents the reader of the book coming along the journey with me.
Excellent.
Wow, that's great.
That's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on in there.
David, I went through a divorce in 01, 02, married 11 years, no kids first time, no kids second time. I
have some if you need some.
Well, it sounds like it, and that kind of leads me to, and we don't have to go delve too deep, but I believe that time heals most wounds. Not all,
right?
But that pit in your stomach, it can solve that. Is there hope with your 3 daughters? The time will come?
100%.
Good.
100%. So I have not seen one of my daughters for about 7.5 years. The other 2 daughters I haven't seen in 4 years. 5 years. 5 years in February. And but 2 of them are emailing with me.
Okay.
Right. They allow me to drop presents off for like Christmas and birthdays and things like that at one of their house. But and my youngest daughter got married in December of last year, which I was not asked to be at the wedding. But, I communicated with her. I said, hey, I would just love to meet your future husband. She allowed me to, have some time with that. And, and I just did what a dad does, right? I was like, hey, can I help pay for it too? Right. Because I look at this as a season, right? So I don't want to make decisions that are lifelong decisions based on this season, right? And so if we are back in life together in a month or in a year or whatever, and think, oh, I didn't participate in any way and do the dad's duty at a wedding, I would have felt, wrong for that.
Squeaky wheel always finds the grease.
Well said.
You gotta wear shades.
Sew that on a pillow, or don't. But no, I love your honesty and stick to it in this. That.
First off, where do you get this? Amazon? Hello, fine friend. Your book?
Yeah, it's on Amazon, or you can go to my website if people want a signed copy. They can go to davidfischette.com and get the book there, and I'll send them a signed copy. But Amazon for hard copy, soft copy, ebook, and audiobook, or Audible, and Apple for audiobooks as well.
Okay, great. And the future's bright. We have to just identify that you and your daughters reconcile over the years.
Yeah, we're going to do that. We're going to hold a vision for that.
Amen.
Amen.
Where do you see yourself going? You've obviously turned into a mentor role. You like talking to people.
Yeah.
Where do you see yourself? Everyone has to always examine themselves of what am I missing? What's really my weakness? Am I just a part of other people's lives? But here I am just kind of really rotating a circle and not moving ahead myself. What do you see yourself doing here in the next couple of years?
Yeah, so I think what this has brought out in me is, my desire for seeing people and having authentic conversations with people. So I am pursuing the speaker route, a little bit more of that. But really what's really fabulous about this book is, since the stories, they're all 2 to 4 pages. They're all very short.
I love that, by the way.
Good. Yeah.
It is literally
John
at
and
my
I love
nightside
that.
that I had to retrieve it from.
Yeah, people
either
either
for
keep
about
it
7 minutes.
People either use it at their nightstand or in their bathroom.
If you had a picture, we really would love it.
Yeah. But even last week I was on a cruise, and I did a book signing and a book reading, and I had several people read chapters. But then after each chapter, I opened it up to the audience for their reflections, and it's really beautiful what it brings out when you ask the questions, and people are like, oh gosh, I remember my dad never said he loved me, or my dad did this, or when I was a kid, and they relate to it. And so I'm in the middle of creating a workbook for this with 12 of the stories, extending those out, adding some additional scripture to it, and having it as a 12-week study for small groups, and have the ability for me to do like a one-day workshop for people. So for people to kind of get in touch with some of the blind spots in their life.
I think one of the layers to this, and you brought it up briefly, I just want to circle back to end with this, the perception versus reality. Mm-hmm. When I was a boss at News 2 and we were hiring people, I was secure, but I also, there was an ego involved being in TV, clearly. And but I tried to surround myself with people better than me that weren't going to stay in Nashville long, and many did go on. I'm very, very proud of their careers. But I remember somebody sat me down, and we were arguing about a story, and I said, this is what I meant. And they said, John, that's not what you meant. I said, and then I realized it's the perception. It doesn't matter what I thought I said to them. It was my coworkers' perception of what I said. So let's not try to, the sooner you dial that in and understand that happens in professional and personal relationships, you can be wrong, and you don't have to be that stubborn to go, this is what I think, this is my no, this is the perception you gave off. Sure. I think that's a lesson early. When you learn that really unlocks a lot of things.
Yeah, because their perception is their reality, right? And a great story about that is when I was in this struggle, when I first lost my daughters and blah, 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 I was trying so hard to keep that inside and just kind of be the boss and do the things. And I had one of my freelance technical directors just send me an email and go, I just can't work for you anymore. You're so mean to all of us and blah, blah, blah.
Me?
And I'm like,
me?
Yeah, I was like, I was mean? No, I'm just...
Joe, you ever done that?
I thought I was masking it, and it's like, you're not masking anything, right? It was so pouring out, and they just thought I was being a jerk.
No, Joe's always a sweetheart. Your coworkers
have
always liked you. No, seriously, you got a lot of flaws, but that's not one of them. No.
Well, David, congratulations on your book.
Thank you.
Everyone, look it up. Hello, Fine Friend on Amazon. It's probably the easiest place because you'll have it by 3:00 that afternoon. What an amazing event Amazon has become, and may God bless you and keep you and make His face shine upon you and your years ahead and your mentorship and your family coming together, and we're grateful to have you here today.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you for being here.
Thanks,
on the
John.
Second Cup of Joe
and John.
It's the Second Cup of Joe and John as their guests expound on any and all topics within the realm of decency. Want to be a sponsor? Let a TV and radio guy help build your business. Email the show, secondcupofjoeandjohn@gmail.com. Now, hold on tight and grab another Second Cup of Joe and John.